if Casanova wrote a book, then that would be more popular than the Bible today.
The successful male is one who will be able to break down what is it that makes a woman tick.
PUA is just a term for a pickup artist. That's what PUA stands for. It's a guy who wants to learn how to pick up women better. When you look at guys who come into the community, generally they have either little or no social skills regarding picking up women, or they do have a varying degree of success, but they want to enhance them.
I am a software engineer. I studied computer science at university and have now worked for 3 years. My number one interest is judo. I'm very involved in judo. I train practically every day. I currently represent New Zealand. Basically, I was definitely getting less success than I wanted. So I was feeling a bit lonely, and I was just looking on Amazon, and they had this, book, The Game, Penetrating the Secret Society of Pickup Artists. My goal was to improve my sex life, basically, increase the quality and or number of sex partners. So I read the book. However long it took me to read it, I basically got very little sleep. I started reading on the Thursday, finished reading on a Friday. I went out on Saturday night and got laid.
When you see these layers, lots of times it's these guys in packs, these packs of wolves, guys out hunting.
There's an Auckland lair. It was just all the guys in Auckland who know one another, communicate with one another. Might not see them for a couple of weeks because they're away on business and stuff like that, but thanks to email and internet and forums, you can keep in contact and find out how things are going.
Girls talk all the time about their relationships and the ways that they go about probably when they're younger, talking to guys, what they should do in different situations. Guys never went through that. So in a way, it's kind of like a catch-up.
Basically, New Zealand Lair started probably with just one guy, looking for other guys in New Zealand. And then as more people were looking in New Zealand, it grew and grew and grew. And then it got to a stage where it was beyond an email group, where it actually needed a forum where people could post subjects about, what do I do on dates? Can you tell me why I went wrong with this girl? This is what I said, this is what she said, what happened here?
The internet, without it, then we don't exist. Because now you have a wide dissemination of communication, ideas, theories that transcends cultures and time.
If I feel like I can actually give a quality answer to something, I'll answer it, but I try to not be on the forums all the time discussing stuff that really, especially if it isn't productive. I've seen ridiculous internet discussions. Like my favourite one was there's this discussion of whether or not you should smile, because alpha male guys don't smile. Oh.
Generally, the guys in the lairs work with computers. Because they're on computers all day, they can have access all day. I mean, it's very rare that you'll find a farmer who's, not milking cows, but actually sitting on a computer talking about women.
Talk about the engineers, the computer programmers, mathematicians, engineers. Yeah, the more logical, the more likely they're going to be on our program, because they're super logical. They're super, super logical.
But then age range, you get guys who are 15 or 16 trying to join lairs, so they can meet girls at high school, to guys who are 32, 33, come out of a 10-year relationship and suddenly, hang on, the whole dating scene's changed. What used to work in the 80s doesn't work now.
Well, I've always been interested in cooking, so I left school after 5th form, after I turned 16. Started cooking. I was washing dishes before that. I've just been sort of moving around the hospitality scene in New Zealand. My learning process was I had read articles on how to attract girls and stuff before I actually knew about the community, by David D'Angelo. Read some of his stuff, but he never mentions the community. And then when I found out about it, it was pretty quick. I signed up to the Wellington Lair and just hit up Moxie. The next week I was going out. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, that's the only way to learn. You can't really, you don't learn too much just reading stuff. It's like the classic example that people use is a guy who studies martial arts all his life. If he gets into a fight with a guy who gets into bar brawls all the time, and in a fight with him in a bar, he'll probably just get wasted because he doesn't actually have any experience.
I guess it's called the game to make it seem more fun, so it's not so serious. You don't want to call it a lifestyle or anything like that. It's just a game that's to be played.
A lot of guys, they play this other one, they go around and they're just practicing game. What does that do? Why are you here? Why are you here? Here to fuck women. That's what it is.
I grew up in Borneo Island, which is East Malaysia. I was in the territorial forces for 3 years. Always had a fascination with anything military. I've always been doing hunting, shooting, fishing, that kind of stuff, and working in real estate industry. I'm not one of these hardcore pickup artists that, just pushes constantly, sarges constantly, and just wants results all the time. No, that's never been my goal. My goal is to just basically see if I can develop any special relationships with people that otherwise might not have been there unless I use certain techniques to break the ice.
Are you adventurous?
Yeah.
Are you going to play a little game, right?
Okay.
Okay, it's called the Cube Game. Okay, close your eyes. Okay. So you're in the desert. Okay, so you're picturing your desert?
Yes.
Okay, so you picture a cube.
Okay.
What does a cube look like?
You can't just walk up to a woman, do you want to sleep with me? I mean, I guess you could, and she might say yes, but she might probably 80% of the time, 90% of the time say no. But if you say it half an hour after talking to her, then she could say yes. So the techniques are really, it's like a step-by-step model, not instructions, but yeah, like a roadmap of finding your way there. The mystery method does have definite structure to it. it breaks it down quite well. You know, there's 3 phases. There's the attraction phase, the comfort phase, and then the seduction phase. The attraction phase is just getting to know her, getting her attracted to you, making sure that you're still attracted to her. Then there's the comfort phase, which is getting to know her a bit deeper. And then there's seduction phase, which is when you're actually seducing.
Go out to a club and say, okay, I'm going to go out and, you know, find a girl and sleep with her. That's quite... There's a lot of steps there that are quite intimidating, whereas the learning process is very much step by step. And then eventually you forget these steps and it just comes.
The lines and routines method's gonna be, hey guys, can I get a female opinion on something? Who lies more, men or women?
If you're using all these canned lines, everything's rehearsed. There's nothing genuine about it. And for me, I don't want people to like me just because I can remember a couple of funny lines here and there and spit them out and say, you know, hey, look at me, I'm awesome.
Well, I prefer kind of impromptu openers. I still have, you know, canned bits and pieces simply because I don't want to have nothing to say.
It has everything to do with the confidence that gives the guys. Look, I have this tried and true material, routine, or line that everybody says is the shit. If I go out and use it, I'm gonna be the shit.
There's the whole RSD school of thought, which is more natural, just be yourself, and doesn't really teach routines or anything like that. It's more inner game based.
That's like the pinnacle, I guess, of game. Just letting go of all these little structures and being. All these guys who rely upon the lines, more like what I teach, teaches you a lot more that core confidence in who you are. So you don't need that and you can rely on yourself. You as men already have like the value. I teach a lot of physical dominance. It's a lot of who I am. Very physical, very dominant, leading conversations, leading everywhere, physically leading. Nothing more adorable than seeing a guy with a girl like tailing behind her. She's just like lit up and smiling and giggling.
I go out quite a lot, like usually around to 5 to 7 nights a week. Every time I go out, I'll usually go to like the same backpacker bars earlier on because they seem to get started. But from then on, it's just basically just have a good time, talk to people. Like that's all that's going through my head. And then if you see someone you like, it just feels natural to just escalate on them. And, yeah. Like things that I'll do, like I'll claw girls, like is a pretty classic thing in RSD. Yeah, hug them. Kisses on the cheek when you greet them, I guess, just stuff like that, and just keep escalating it, getting it more and more sexual, more intent. Then you can like isolate them, get them somewhere else.
Hey, where you go? You're coming with us, come. We're going this way, buddy.
I think just because it's my world, people go along with it, like it's in my reality. And if I like the dominant reality always wins. With RSD, I think it's like less thinking about what you're doing because that gets you inside your head and sort of stifles you a bit. So as RSD, it's just doing your own thing, being genuine as you are.
Uncle Jeffrey.
Hey, Uncle Jeffrey.
Uncle Jeffrey, high five, man.
Jimma.
Jimma.
Yeah.
You don't have a lighter? What the fuck is this shit? You're a girl. You're not supposed to shake my hand. You're supposed to go like this.
Ah, mwah.
Thank you.
Mwah.
Yeah. What the fuck? She's trying to shake my hand. She's a girl. She thinks she's a guy. What the fuck is this shit?
Shake your hand, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a guy thing.
Girls can shake hands.
At first, it was just sort of maybe faking it. Like on the outside, externally, it would look like I was like confident, but inside I was like, you know, shaking and stuff. But now it's just sort of progressed to actually being genuinely not caring.
Look at his shirt! Look at his shirt!
Look at your shirts!
What are you thinking? I just quite like it.
Thanks, I know. Wait, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
It is just through like practice. Practice, like, you know, if you keep, it's probably the same with salesmen, like, they probably just get used to people telling them to fuck off.
I didn't like fucking, like, come here.
Not really. That was you, bro. I forgot to only put my hand right. First time. It's the wrong way.
That's not a joke.
Is that another Safa? Safa. It is. Fuck, she's pretty hot as well. The other ones were average. Yeah, I didn't say that.
It's a universal tool so that guys on the other side of the world know how high you place a value on her looks.
Men first look at women, they say, you know, she's attractive. Whereas women probably say, like, that guy might be cute, but look, he's a really good guy and he does this and this, and I find that really cool.
10 is somebody who, it's a girl that's high perceived social status, high perceived physical beauty, you know, just like 10.
But then every guy has different standards. I mean, there are guys out there who like, you know, stick thin, anorexic, pale runway models. There are guys out there who like, you know, J-Lo models. There are guys out there who are commonly referred to as chubby chasers who like bigger women. So, I mean, it's completely dependent on the guy of what flips their switches and what thinks, you know, what makes them think, you know, she's nice, she's hot, or oh my god, she's stunning. I think people in general have their own code and ethics about relationships, and honesty is a big one.
I've had multiple relationships. I've been very upfront about it. Matter of fact, when I meet a girl, she knows I have a dick. That's what I like to say. It's like I'm very upfront about everything.
And I mean, if you want to have a one-night stand, there are certain things you should be doing or certain things you should be saying. I mean, you don't really want to talk about your family to a one-night stand girl because she doesn't care. No. If she wants a one-night stand and you want a one-night stand, then all that matters is, are you attracted to me? Yes, no. You know, do you want to leave now?
I've done things like, you know, because there's a concept of warm-up sets, which are basically girls you're not really attracted to, but you go talk to them just to warm up for the night. So I guess in that small sense, I guess they may have maybe got a little bit of hope or a bit of attraction going on there, and then I just left, that kind of thing. I wouldn't call it heartbreak. And now I'm in a relationship that is looking like it's pretty serious. And while technically it's still short term because it's been, I don't know how long has it been, 6 months. I hope that it's going to go for longer because I'm very happy in it.
There's been a big swing in feminism from the 60s.
I think it's been good in certain ways, but also it's hurt men as much as it's helped women. We're still like balancing that. We're still coming to that.
I mean, for thousands of years before that, men were dominant, men were leaders. And it's great that feminism has come along, but it's also thrown a whole lot of guys out. Suddenly you've got a woman who's earning more money than them, you know, pretty, young, you know, got the world at their feet sort of thing, and it's what do I do about it sort of thing.
I really get the feeling that in New Zealand, men are at a disadvantage, so to speak. Women do hold a lot of power here. While I'm not saying that that's a bad thing at all, I'm just saying there are certain things that should be kept in check as well. Okay, you go out to a nightclub. I've seen it quite often where a whole bunch of girls will be together and, you know, a couple guys will come here and there, you know, try and talk to them. Some of the guys I can see they're being really genuine in their approach. Really, really genuine, you know, they're not trying anything nasty, just trying to break the ice and chat to them. And the girls are just, they devour them, they pick them to pieces like vultures.
Inner game Inner game to me is core confidence. Core confidence, knowing what you value. Knowing what you value in your life about you.
A lot of guys have tight inner game. You know, they know they're good looking, they know they're confident, they know they're going in the right way lifestyle wise and career wise. And then other guys don't have that confidence in themselves. So they need more reassurance. So yeah, inner game just helps you with basically the confidence and faith in yourself, really.
As far as the community's helped myself, like, you know, like I think it's helped a lot. Like, yeah, it just helped me like enjoy life a lot more. I used to be really cynical as well about everything. Like, I'd just be like real sarcastic and cynical about everything, you know. Like that was just who I was. But now it's just a bit more positive and optimistic.
For me, the one thing is that the community inner game stuff has just improved my judo to this like huge level, which I never expected that, but it's been quite fundamental in how I approach my fights. And it's quite, sometimes, you know, you're nervous, you don't quite know, you know, you've got all these questions popping up, but the basic thing is then inner game tells you I'm playing to win, you know, so, but I'm also not dependent on the outcome, so I'm not terrified of losing, and I'm going to the best thing I can here, as well as the attitude of you know, even if you're not necessarily naturally talented at something, you can just work at it and it happens. Although I already had that belief to do with sport, I guess it's from the game it's kind of more expanded out to basically anything. Perseverance will make you successful in anything.
The more and more that you get better or the best, the more it's not so much about the woman, it's more about you.
The community is definitely a self-help movement. It's guys who want to be better with women, be better people, you know, have more fulfilling relationships.
Like, let's say you're into philosophy and you find out something, this like a way of thinking that really clicks with your personality and what you like to do. You'd feel really, really kind of empowered by that, and you'd feel that that was a new way that you could kind of go out and kind of live your life and see things differently and see things that you hadn't seen before.
And then there's things like success stories as well. You know, you hear about guys who've spent 6 months in the community and suddenly they've gone from being virgins to having threesomes, or, you know, picking up the hottest girl in the bar, or, you know, meeting their wife or whatever. So it gives guys a whole perspective of, you know, it happened to other people, I'm not alone. You know, it's a common thing.
It changes into like a philosophy in a way of, and just like, you know, an area of information that's extremely useful to draw from for different things in your life as well.
The art of seduction does not just apply to picking up women at all. It's about seducing a person's mind, seducing a person's soul, seducing them to the point that you can establish what their needs are, and you know that you have it inside you to give it to them. You know, so learning this kind of stuff is crucial to survival in the business world. Learning these kind of things helps to break down that barrier and makes you more approachable, makes you the brightest candle in the room. And, you know, bright candle attracts flies, moths, whatever you want to call them. You know, people are more attracted towards a colorful personality.
Since Neil Strauss's book came out, I assume there's a huge jump in that people who have found out about it. So more guys are getting into it. When more guys get into it, you get more ideas and techniques and skills and just general theories floating around.
But they don't want too many people to know, because otherwise it's going to get sort of like a little bit out of control. And because of people's preconceived ideas on these, it's like you're ready for that kind of knowledge, but a lot of people usually aren't.
I think the thing to be careful of is to recognize at an early stage on your path to self-improvement, what is it that you want to achieve out of everything? You know, do you just want to be a philandering Lothario, or do you want to be someone who actually forms really intimate and really beautiful relationships with others?